Morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning, and we're going to jump into Proverbs, the book of Proverbs. So I'm going to read. Proverbs 1 through 7, and then 20 through verse 33. Okay. All right. Here we go. The very beginning. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. For gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction and prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. For understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And this is then jumping to verse 20. Out in the open, wisdom calls aloud. She raises her voice in the public square. On top of the wall, she cries out. At the city gate, she makes her speech. How long will you who are simple love your simple ways? How long will mockers delight in mockery and fools hate knowledge? Repent at my rebuke, then I will pour out my thoughts to you. I will make known to you my teachings. Since you refuse to listen when I call, and no one pays attention when I stretch out my hand, since you disregard all my advice and do not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh when disaster strikes you. I will mock when calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster sweeps over you like a whirlwind, when distress and trouble overwhelm you. Then they will call to me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but not find me. Since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. That sounded weird. Since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. There you go. I was kind of saying it as a question, as a statement. Since they would not accept my advice and spurned my rebuke, they will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their schemes. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease, without fear of harm. Okay, well, pretty basic stuff here. Pretty basic stuff. Wisdom is the key. This idea of wisdom. Wisdom says a lot. The idea of pursuing wisdom says a lot because we're saying constantly that God knows best, always. God knows best. Even when we can't see it or feel it or even understand it, we can believe it, that God knows best. And the Proverbs are just more instructions, just straight instruction. No story, no narrative, just instruction. How to live your life in a way that keeps you safe from distress. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that. Yes, please. Yes. Maybe without wisdom, we're gonna flail around in our lives forever. Something will be good one minute and bad the next. Like we'll constantly just grind through our lives without really having a chance to savor it as we go. A chance to really grow and develop and pass that on to others and do what God is hoping we'll do. He doesn't want us to live like grass, where we grow and then we're trampled on and we're thrown out. He doesn't want us to live like animals, where it's basic survival, and when there's no more survival, there's death. He wants us to live magnificent lives. And you can't do that unless you have wisdom, his wisdom, real wisdom. We need it. We need it. Without it, we're not different than any other living organism that's doomed to be born and to die, with not a whole lot that matters in the middle. We're just consuming oxygen. I know. It seems crazy. that this book of Proverbs can actually release us from a life of stupidity. Stupidity. I mean, it's said, right? I'm not making this up. It's said. Without wisdom, we're just worthless. God sees us as worthless, right? Because we are choosing a life that we think is right over his. Or we're saying to God, no thanks. No thanks, man. You're for the Bible beaters, the holy rollers, the convicts, people on deathbeds. I hear you. They need you emotionally to get by. I don't. I don't need God emotionally to get by. A lot of us probably don't say that out loud, but I think we think that unconsciously, which is why we put so little attention to his word. We know better. God isn't nice to have. I've said this before and I believe it. I believe it. Until we have that moment where we can't stand any longer, God's mostly a nice to have. Interesting conversation. You know, a check the box event now and again. Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. I feel like that's how we answer a lot when the topic of faith or, oh, yeah, sure, I got that. Yeah, I got that. I mean, I got that. Meanwhile, we've got so much buried in our hearts that we're not even going to attempt to go after because we're too busy surviving, too busy making ends meet. Making meet, like literally making ends meet. Have one loose end over here, another million loose ends over here. We're just constantly trying to make them meet. That's our day. It's our night. And then at night we try to sleep through it. We can't because we got to get up and figure out the next loose end meeting the next loose end. Like, what a terrible life. God, I can't do that anymore. It's like, no thanks. No thanks. That's not life. That's death. That is death. That's being sold as life. And if you do this well enough, if you connect enough ends well enough and hard enough and fast enough, then you get paid a lot. And then you can take nice vacations and you can fly first class. And that's just more distractions from the fact that you are a loose end connector. God, isn't that great? Isn't that great? That's what our lives boil down to. I don't care what anybody says, that's what it is. Put whatever label, whatever framework you want around it. Without God, without wisdom, without a love for him in our lives, without a belief that we need him in our everyday, we are loose end connectors with an absolute fear of what's built up inside of us. I'm going to play the drums to that. It's true. It's true. Anyway, I'm excited that we're into the Proverbs now because it's just straight wisdom. Straight dope wisdom. That's good stuff. It will be good stuff. And we're going to take it step by step, like we do, and see where we end up on the other side. Hopefully better people with a better perspective and a better understanding of how God constructed the universe and our potential role in it. Our role in the universe. Do we know what our role in the universe is besides to eat, sleep, and make it to the next day? It's time to. Use these proverbs as an opportunity to lift, shape, perfect even your purpose. You might be, around it. You might be close to it. You might be kind of in it. But let's perfect it. Let's take that raw wood and sand it and grind it and stain it, polish it, and say, all right, I get it. This is me. This is what I'm meant to do. That's what these proverbs are for. To get at the heart of it. To get at the heart of what's in the heart. All right. Well, hope you guys have a great day. And it's exciting to get it straight wisdom, isn't it? Should be. I think so. All right. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Have a good one, guys.